when Magnus and I played our 2022 final, or 2022 and 2023, at the end of the match, like Magnus heard me celebrating when there were like 40 seconds left and I was down by 2, or I was up by 2 games, because I knew I could run out the clock, and so he heard me through the open mic. Chess.com news: draw offers restricted. Chess.com restricts draw offers in multiple prize events. Beginning in 2024, multiple Chess.com prize events will restrict draw offers until after move 30, and our bullet chess prize events will restrict draw offers for the entire game. Now, this is actually wild, that you're not allowed to offer a draw. This is kind of crazy. I actually don't agree with the part about the bullet events. I think that's just insane. I mean, the fact that you can't offer a draw in like the bullet brawl, which will be happening tomorrow, is not right in my opinion. I think that's just crazy, but whatever. While there is no doubt that a draw is a perfectly valid outcome in many a hard-fought chess game, draws by agreement, especially in the early stages of the game, have long been controversial in top-level chess. In most other games or sports, it is not possible for competitors to decide at any point in the game to agree to a tie. That's funny, because I swear I've watched a lot of Champions League games where it's tied like 1-1 in the last, like they're in the 80th minute or so, and I swear I've seen a lot of games where for the last 10 minutes until they get to the extra time or the penalties, where they're pretty chill about it and they're not trying super hard, they're just playing very safe defense. So kind of funny to see this comment, when definitely I've seen it happen in soccer or football, as Europeans call it. So little bit strange to see this, but let's keep going. In the spirit of competition, we're looking to eradicate this phenomenon. The following table outlines events that will be affected by these changes in 2024. All other events will be unaffected. Okay, Title Tuesday, no draw offers until after move 30. Champions Chess Tour all stages, no draw offers until move 30. Speed Chess Championship qualifiers, move 30. Arena Kings, no draw offers until after move 30. Now, the funny thing about seeing Arena Kings here is I have seen draws very similar to the Nepo Dubov draw with knight moves like knight f3, knight g1, f3, back and forth many times over the last couple of years. So it's kind of funny to see the no draw offer in Arena Kings when players are doing the Nepo Dubov draw anyway. Then we have the Bullet Chess Championship and Bullet Brawl. No draw offers allowed at any point in the game. Now, this I really don't like as far as Bullet Brawl goes. Like, the Bullet Chess Championship is fine, but Bullet Brawl, where it's a 2-hour arena, I don't think that's right. Because what happens when Daniel and I get into an equal position on move 25 with Rook and 3 versus Rook and 3? I mean, I guess we can just repeat back and forth, but I don't like this as far as the Bullet Brawl goes, but it's a small enough tournament that it doesn't really change anything in terms of the bigger picture. Okay, in all of these events, server restrictions on draw offers will result in the draw offer button being disabled for both players until after the allotted move number. While the timing is entirely coincidental, early draw offers have been much discussed in chess in the context of the ongoing FIDE World Rapid and Blitz Championships. GM Vladimir Fedoshev agreed to a draw with white on move 9 versus GM Dmitry Andreikin in the final round of the Rapid Championship, a move that ultimately secured clear second place for Fedoshev and a $50,000 payday. GM Lei Tingzhi offered draw with white in only 3 moves against IM Anastasia Bodnaruk, but the outcome proved unfavorable to her. She missed out on the tiebreaks and her opponent ultimately won the title in spectacular style. Most unusually, GM Jan Nepomniachtchi and Daniil Dubov played out a 13-move draw for which they were doubly forfeited, as draws by collusion are prohibited by FIDE. All right. Ultimately, Chess.com feels that it is never appropriate to criticize players for agreeing to early draws if it is in their best interest to do so, but we also do not think it should be an option in professional competition. In conversation with top players, especially with ban the draw offer advocate GM Robert Hess, we have heard nothing but support for this update, and we hope it leads only to more great and exciting chess in 2024. Now, I generally agree with the take that, having no draws till move 30, completely reasonable. I don't agree with the Bullet Brawl because I think that should also be move 30. Regardless, it's very minor, doesn't matter. But I find it interesting that like the problem with this whole notion around draw offers is there's one big problem. Chess is not a game or a sport, if you want to call it that, where there is an insane amount of money. Chess players do not make a lot of money as professional players. And so with Fedoshev making the draw and guaranteeing himself $50,000, I completely understand Fedoshev's standpoint. Frankly, when I was a pro player, I would have had that same mindset where it's guarantee the prize. You got to guarantee the cash, to use a poker term. You got to make sure you finish in the money. You got to cash the event. That's what you have to do. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with this whole thing, is that like it's still gonna happen. Like draws are still gonna happen as far as over the board chess goes. Online, I don't really feel like you get that many repetitions other than the obvious, the infamous Berlin repetition. So it feels to me like Chess.com is sort of confusing the issue between over the board and online a little bit. There's a little bit of a blur here, but it's not really that big of a deal. I don't think it changes anything as far as Title Tuesday goes, and that is probably the big event outside the Champions Chess Tour. So it still probably is a step in a direction to try and push towards no draws, but I don't think if we look at the overall picture, we're going to be in a world where they're going to be like the draws are going to go down by any sort of substantial margin as a percentage. So but they do have no draws until move 30, so at least it is something to try and push in a certain direction. All right, so next up we have one more article. What is this article? Our last article of the day. Let's see, we have fair play on chess.com. Ooh, this is going to be good. Chess.com is committed to growing chess and protecting the integrity of the game. On this page, you'll find information and resources that our fair play team has created for you to remain up to date about the work we do. Okay, Fair Play Team. The Fair Play Team consists of dedicated researchers, statisticians, analysts, event proctors, engineers, and chess enthusiasts, together with a team of more than 30 members, including 3 GMs and 10 title players who work hard to protect the integrity of the game. The Fair Play Team is led by the Director of Fair Play, FM Dan Rozovsky, and is comprised of 4 critical decisions: research and development, investigation and detection, operations, and communication. This was like an article that was put out specifically to sort of to prove to a certain former world champion that that there is extensive stuff. There are 4 divisions and 30 people. Now that to me, that's actually more than I thought they had. That actually does. Like, I was expecting it to be something like maybe they got like 10 people, maybe, but 30 people over 4 divisions is actually not a joke at all. All right, research and development is led by Roland Walker. The research and development team makes use of the detailed data that exists in chess to identify players who are cheating. We colon space, it says, number 1, develop and implement algorithms to detect overperformance. Number 2, conduct rigorous tests and experiments to identify conclusive cheat detection signals across hundreds of gameplay factors. Number 3, run large-scale simulations on millions of moves and chess games to shine a light on the variance, possibilities, and limitations of human play. Number 4, carefully study historical data to maximize the number of cheaters caught while minimizing the false positive rate. Okay, time for Kramnik to reveal his 30-person team now. His team is probably, I don't know, I'm gonna bet that I could count on one hand his team. Next up, let's see what we have. Investigation and detection, led by Gerard Le Marchal. The investigation and detection team handles the day-to-day of chess.com fair play. We review fair play cases, adjudicate fair play appeals, validate tournament results, conduct in-depth analysis of players competing in prize money events. Operations, led by Sean Arndt. The operations team works to protect all events that are run on chess.com. We share event-specific information of players prior to prize money events, carry out fair play checks during fair play calls, adjudicate issues that arise during events, uphold and enforce fair play protocols. Now, so yeah, you guys are asking, do I know any of these people? I do not. I mean, is this guy, I don't know if Dan Rozovsky is American or not. Like, the name doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I saw him at like a tournament in the US years ago. I do know who Roland Walker is. I do know who Gerard Le Marchal is. I do not. I mean, maybe Sean Arndt was at the Chess Champions Tour, but he looks like a young Sean Penn. Maybe that's being too generous, but he looks like a young Sean Penn to me. And then you have I Am Casacorley, who of course I know from when he was much younger, which is communications. So communications led by I Am Casacorley. The communications team disseminates important information to title players and the broader chess.com community. We share fair play policy and guidelines, field titled player questions and concerns, solicit feedback and input from the world's best players to improve our systems, address matters of public interest to the community, administer event rules and streaming regulations. So as we look at this, these are the 4 groups. There's research, development, investigation and detection, operations, communication. So yeah, communications probably, this looks like the people who like Kramnik was like going after, right? With his comment about they're not talking to me or something. It probably would be communications. Like it's like that department. So what do we have? Fair play by the numbers. Okay, 2.5 million games are analyzed per day. Over 1 million account closures in 2023, approximately 3,000 account closures per day. Yep. Look at that chess.com, you guys. They're not doing anything. I'm not satisfied with their work. They don't care about cheating Tuesdays. They don't care. It's so disgusting. Okay. approximately 3,000 account closures per day, approximately 90,000 account closures per month. Total account closures are equivalent to approximately 0.6% accounts on chess.com. 169 title player closures in 2023, approximately 14 title players closures per month. Reviewed approximately 39,000 account closure appeals, granted 0.3% of appeals. So basically what they're saying is, I'm no mathematician, ha 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 ha. But it says that out of the 39,000 account closures, 0.3, I can't do math. Maybe I'll open my calculator to see what that comes out to, but let's see, 39,000, divide that by 10, divide that by another 10, that's 1%, divide that by 10 times 3, that is 117, you guys. 117 out of 39,000 appeals were granted. 117 out of 39,000. Now that is actually just remarkable, isn't it? Like 117 out of 39,000, if my math is correct, is just insane. Actually insane. So 450 plus title players played on camera in 2023. The strongest players in the world are checked the most. Yeah, strange way to calculate it. I know, that's how I do it. I'm stupid. I know. I'm not smart, but that's how I do it. So fair play checks. For various prize events, you may need to join a fair play call. In the event that you are asked to join, it is your responsibility to be ready. While the following video outlines fair play expectations for an event in which you need to set up 2 cameras, it is still applicable even if you need only 1 camera, and we strongly advise you to watch it. All right. In addition to what's been outlined in the video, players must have at least one open mic during the event. Fair play proctors and other players in this call can hear you. As a result, you must comport yourself in the same manner you would for a game in an over-the-board tournament. Loud and or disruptive players may be removed from an event. Now, this is actually a very good point, because when Magnus and I played our 2022 final, or 2022 and 2023, at the end of the match, like, Magnus heard me celebrating when there were like 40 seconds left and I was down by 2, or I was up by 2 games, because I knew I could run out the clock, and so he heard me through the open mic. And 2023 was actually the same. I basically said something like, wow, amazing, or something like that, when he found this double rook sacrifice with rook c5 and rook c7 in the Speed Chess Championship. So this is actually definitely very clear that I think a lot of people don't understand. You always have an open microphone. Number 2, be ready for the possibility of a room sweep. In some instances, a fair play proctor will ask you to get up and move your camera around to show your playing environment. Now, of course, everybody's had to deal with this in the Chess Champions Tour specifically. Number 3, be ready to show your display settings. In some instances, actually, I think chess.com made everybody do that for the Speed Chess Championship and the Chess Champions Tour, where we had to show the taskbar because it shows the user. It basically shows the user, because I think there's someone with Windows where you could theoretically have multiple users. So you have to show the display in the task manager to show the users. In some instances, a fair play proctor will ask to see your display settings to see if you have monitors connected to your computer. Next, it says, we are currently exploring solutions to improve our monitoring practices for prize events. As such, these requirements are subject to change. Fair play streamer requirements. The following table outlines our expectations for players who wish to stream events. Please pay close attention to the stream delay requirements below. Note that parts of the table may be hidden depending on your device, so please scroll through it to read all your information. Okay, is this a new article, by the way? Do we have a change to Title Tuesday? Wait, Title Tuesday is 3+1. Oh, Title Tuesday has changed. Title Tuesday has changed, you guys. It looks like we have a change in Title Tuesday. But nonetheless, Title Tuesday is 3+1 with a 10-second delay. So if I'm streaming from now on, I'm gonna have to stream with a 10-second delay, which is actually gonna change things quite a bit. 10-second delay, 1 camera. Now, I actually, going back in time, I did 2 cams on Title Tuesday for a while to try and sort of lay down the groundwork for things to change. But of course, nobody used 2 cams, so no one was using 2 cams. Obviously, I'm like, why am I doing this if it's not leading to more people doing that? But yeah, 10-second streamer delay. So on Tuesdays, we're gonna be streaming on a 10-second delay. Yes, headphones are allowed if not in the fair play Zoom call. Okay, fair enough. If you're in the Zoom call, no headphones. Okay, fair enough. What else do we have? Pro Chess League, 2 cameras, exactly. 30-second streamer delay. Now, I will be playing the Pro Chess League for the Gotham Chess Knights. So that will be 2 cameras. CCT qualifiers, 1 camera on request. CCT, 2 cameras. So All right, so SEC main 2 cams, bullet chess championship. Yeah, the bullet chess championship is 2 cams. Bullet brawl has no cameras, I guess. Actually, I mean, I kind of understand with the bullet brawl. It's just like bullet brawl. It's like, yeah, if you can actually cheat in 1 minute games, good for you. More power to you. So bullet brawl is the only one, or bullet BCC qualifier. Bullet's the only one that doesn't have cameras required, it looks like. But overall, this is a step in a new direction. So we're going to be streaming Tuesdays with a 10-second delay going forward. At least that's what it looks like.